The memorial cross in our garden is a most fitting and loving reminder to all of us here in Lipa Carmel of the heroic faith of our dear Foundresses. The memorial cross keeps alive the memories of what our Foundresses went through in their earnest desire to establish a Carmel of Our Lady. The great devotion of our Foundresses and the enormous support of the diocese through Bishop Alfredo Verzosa, a lifelong devotee of Saint Teresa de Jesus, and his auxiliary Bishop Obviar, made possible the beginnings of this Carmel, despite the grave physical and material hardship of those initial years. Bishop Verzosa, to encourage our Foundresses with great affection, compared their task to building a belencito, a little Bethlehem, which Bishop Obviar said at the Cornerstone blessing would be for the good of all the people, especially for the diocese and most particularly for the people of Lipa. Who would think of putting up any structure in Lipa in 1946, when it was one of the most devastated and ravaged areas during the war that had ended less than a year before? Bishop Verzosa himself had nowhere to stay in Lipa. It was the foolishness of saints. It explains to us the prophetic words of Father Edwin Casey, U.S. Army chaplain, in his address at the laying of the Cornerstone. The establishing of a Carmelite monastery here will make history in its own way. Mother Mary Ann wrote of the beginnings of the infant Carmel of Lipa. Roses are not without thorns. Our temporary lodging was very poor and small. The house was built upon the heavy ruins of an entirely demolished convent. Yes, it was the life of Bethlehem enacted all over again, but the magic wand of holy joy was ever present to make hard things light and turn dark clouds into bright sunshine. Nothing daunted us. Our spirits were animated by the one consoling thought that beneath the same roof the divine Lord Jesus deigned to make his delightful abode. This is why the memorial cross stands here in its stark simplicity. It stands to show us our pain and sorrow, as well as our faith and perseverance. There, our past, our present, and our future meet. We end this short tribute to our Foundresses with the words of Mother Mary Cecilia written in 1970. Our Carmel has passed through many trials which are too long to recount. In retrospect, we can only voice our profoundest gratitude to God and to all who have guided and helped us steer our Carmel during these difficult and painful years of growth. Lipa Carmel is the Carmel of God's merciful love. The years that have happily passed have been the unfolding of God's mystery, the condescension of love and mercy. The tremendous lover has taken our misery and reproach away, and has clothed us with his justice. The mercies of the Lord will sing forever. Yes, God is the maker of history. Sunlight and shadows show forth his glory. This Carmel will ever symbolize and be a witness to his merciful love. Here he has childlike souls whose weakness will make his power manifest. We press on to the goal. With expectant hearts, we look up to our Holy Mother, Saint Teresa, second patroness of our Carmel, to renew in us her double spirit, so that, like her, we may be valiant, generous, and true daughters of the Church.